Hello, beloved Starseed commanders and light workers. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be discussing Rhesus Negative Starseeds, RH Negative Starseeds. Now, this is one of my favorite topics because I am an RH Negative Starseed and I have a rather interesting origin story. I basically broke off from Source, okay, in Vega, which is in the Lyra constellation. And I had just one incarnation there where I perished during the Lyran Draconian Wars. Okay, and I was still a child at the time, but I perished with my mom and dad. And when we pass on, of course, our souls are eternal. And I was told through the Akashic Records that my soul was processed by the Arcturians in their crystalline healing pods. I just thought this was the coolest story because I'd never heard anything like this before. And, once our souls were healed, we were asked where we wanted to incarnate next. And my family was like, well, where did the rest of our family go? And they said, well, they went to Sirius. And we're like, okay, we want to go there. So we ended up in Sirius A, and we were a rather elevated family. We had elevated status. We were on the Syrian High Council, and we were very interested in unifying the Syrian star system. And to do this, I was betrothed or promised to marry a prince from Sirius C, who happened to be reptilian. You can read more about this in my books, but I do want to just give you kind of that background because, of course, we did have children, and the children were humanoid. Okay, I had light blue skin with, I would say, silver or white hair and brown eyes. My husband was a brown or golden skinned reptilian with yellowy eyes and red vertical slits down the middle. Crazy story, I know. But our kids came out looking, human. They looked, Mediterranean or North African, They had that same kind of I would say almost a gypsy complexion. All right. So but very human, okay? And so this actually is a story that is a predecessor of the Anunnaki. And I just found that fascinating that I was one of the founding families, okay, that was working on unifying Sirius. And these Anunnaki lineages went on to Nibiru, okay, and they were around Sirius C, which I believe was destroyed during a natural disaster. That star is no longer visible, it's no longer there. But this knocked Nibiru off course, and the Nibiruans ended up on Earth, became the Anunnaki, which you learn about in Sumerian legends. Okay, so that's just one offshoot, one random tale. And I bring all this up because we are always speculating about how the Anunnaki bloodline began. And I have been confirming with people who have worked with the Akashic Records that this is the Anunnaki bloodline, this RH negative blood type. So with that, and I have had many other adventures in other star systems, but that's for another time. I do want to talk about the key characteristics of Rhesus negative blood type star seeds. Okay. And to be clear, there are O RH negative, there are B, AB, RH negative, there are, various forms, and it's the antigen, okay, of the blood type. And you can certainly do your own research on this. I'm going to keep this rather brief today because it's such a heavy topic that I just don't have the energy. But I did feel like it was important enough to revisit and go over as more and more people are interested in this sort of topic. So, individuals with rhesus negative blood are often seen as highly empathic with strong intuitive abilities. They may have a heightened sensitivity to the emotions and energies of others. And I'm saying this, and I'm saying 444 on my timer here. Whoever is watching this now, if you're not RH negative, you may know someone who is, someone in your family, someone very close to you, okay? There's a reason why you're getting this message. There's, very few people know about this. Even today, very few people know about this or what it means. Okay, this was such a big deal back in the day that you used to have to take a blood test just to get married because it was very dangerous if the mother's blood type didn't match the child's blood type. And let's say the mother's Rh negative and the child is Rh positive, then the mother could have a allergic reaction to the baby and have a miscarriage. So it was very important to know this back in the day. Now we have developed ROGAM and other techniques to make sure that the baby is protected and the mother is protected. But, you know, back in the day, it was rather risky. Okay. And so you hear all kinds of stories about you must be of royal blood to marry another royal. There's something to that. There's something very significant to that. And again, this is something that, yeah, do your research, but I do believe the largest population of Rh negative beings are in the Basque region of southern France and northern Spain to this day. There's a high population in Celtic Britain. There is the Celtic Basque connection, okay? And there is the Berber connection in North Africa. And these blood types have spread throughout the world, especially in the British colonies and amongst the slave population, the African descendants of slaves and so on. And that was passed down to me. So I bring all this up for those of you who need context because I don't really hear a lot of people telling it the way I do. So that is for someone, especially if you are a seeker. There are a lot of you, Rh negative blood type starseeds. We are seekers, okay? We are nonconformists. We like to seek things out on our own and figure out the mysteries on our own. And that's just how we are. It's in our blood to be this way, okay? So many of you starseeds out there who have a deep interest in spirituality may actively seek answers to existential questions, and you often feel a strong connection to the universe and a desire for spiritual growth. And Rhesus Negative Starseeds in particular have an innate sense of individuality. We may feel different from others around us. You definitely, if you felt different all your life, there's a reason for that. You know, you're not meant to fit in. You're different. You're different from another planet. You're trying to get back to your home planet. You know, there's got to be more. There's more. And there's this sense of uniqueness, which often leads us to explore unconventional beliefs or lifestyles. I know I talk about this stuff like it's nothing, like you guys already know what I'm talking about. And I know a lot of you are like, girl, can you say that again? Because that is so great. No. This is something where we are constantly waiting for the world to catch up to us. We're constantly waiting for the world to, come around. We're not physically waiting, but we know once we plant the seeds that, the world will catch up sooner or later. It doesn't matter if it's a year or 10 years from now. We're going to speak our truth no matter what, whether, ready or not. It is what it is. Okay. That is just like how we are, because we know on a deeper level that we're here to be system disruptors. We're here to shake up this paradigm. Okay, we're here to make changes, make waves, make ripples, wake up the planet. Okay, there's a very select few of us. Okay, but there are enough of us on our planet now to elevate the frequency, to elevate the consciousness. And we are natural healers, and we are very open-minded and curious. That being said, we often possess natural healing abilities and may be drawn to healing professions or practices, including energy healing, alternative medicine, and holistic therapies. And this isn't woo-woo stuff. This is stuff that's been passed on from the Anunnaki to the Lemurians, to the Atlanteans, to the ancient Egyptians, and so on. There is a link here. And we are the missing link. It's in our blood to do this, to know that humanity is at a stage where there is a cure for every disease. And the only reason we don't see it is because of the financial system that is capitalizing on the sickness of humanity, keeping you in a constant state of fear and helplessness and stress. And stress causes illness, it causes disease. And so we're here to kind of just say, hey, look, there's a better way. The cure exists in the higher timeline, the higher frequencies. All we have to do is tap into it, and it's there. We've had plenty of opportunities to work with other benevolent beings in the recent past, in the 20th century. I think they went straight to Eisenhower and said, hey, we'll give you all of this stuff if you just get rid of the nukes. And he said, no, we're going to keep on building weapons because... And so we just ended up being more of a superpower that has a very sick population. We have all the weapons in the world in the United States, but we have a rather sick population where there's like a drug for everything, but a cure for nothing. Not even the common cold. I mean, it's insane. Anyway, Rhesus Negative Starseeds tend to be more open-minded and curious about the world around them. They may explore a variety of spiritual or metaphysical topics and often seek knowledge beyond traditional teachings. We are very sensitive to energy, okay? We are very sensitive to energy. We may be able to perceive the vibrational frequencies of different environments or individuals, allowing them to navigate social situations with care. The other RH negatives I know, they tend to disrupt the energy field. They tend to have lots of glitches. They tend to be very light sleepers. They pick up on frequencies no one else can hear. Like I remember being a child and I could hear a whirling sound in my ear. And I knew, like, my mother left the TV on upstairs in the bedroom, even though the door was closed. I could hear it. It was on mute. I could hear it. I could hear it hissing. And she was like, no, I didn't leave the TV on. And I went up there and checked, and sure enough, it was on. And I knew it was on. And she couldn't hear it. But it was driving me crazy. That's how sensitive we are. A lot of us are laying up at night and wondering why we can't sleep, 12:22 on the clock. And it's because we can hear the Wi-Fi. We can hear the smart TV. We can hear the phones charging. We can hear everything. We can hear our neighbor's Wi-Fi. We can hear everything. And it's just like a ringing in our ear. We could pick up so this may be something that needs to be further studied, but I do think it's part of our extrasensory, our spider senses, okay? Spidey senses, is that, a thing? Anyway, so many individuals with our blood type are driven by a strong sense of justice and truth. We are, defenders of humanity and humankind. We really want the best for the human family. Okay, we are unifiers. We are here to make sure we are integrating our shadow properly. We want to make sure that we share our diversity around the world and express the fact that there is strength in diversity, and there is a very fine reason why the powers that be are always trying to divide and conquer humanity. Humanity is not meant to be divided and conquered. They are meant to be unified. They are multi-dimensional. They are multiracial. They are multi-ethnic, and they are multi-galactic for a reason. But they will always have these certain beings in positions of authority, probably Draco, Orion lineages, okay, that are going to be there to, they're just out to divide and conquer or colonize or capitalize or exploit beings who are more service to others while they are service to self. And we have to look out for that because their time is up. We are not going to tolerate that anymore. That is not a sustainable way of functioning for the new earth. So I think more people are awakening to this sort of challenge that we have to face. If we're going to have any equality, we're going to have to control or get to a post-scarcity civilization or level of consciousness in order for all of us to thrive on Earth. It shouldn't just be the top 1%. Okay, so We are often standing up for what we believe. We're very outspoken. We are constantly seeking positive change in our communities, okay? And we are visionary thinkers. We have a visionary mindset. We're often coming up with innovative ideas or solutions to problems, often before anyone else. Like, we're hearing people come up with things. We're like, oh, I thought about that a long time ago. No one gave me props. I came up with that. But no, it's like, we're behind the scenes influencing the energy. And yeah, I mean, if they think it's their invention, let them have it. There's so much more. I mean, there's so much more. But yeah, a lot of us are way ahead of the game, way ahead of our time. And we like to think outside of the box. We like to see the bigger picture. We're just problem solvers. We enjoy, we don't enjoy problems, but we are rather quick to solve them. And, you would be surprised how many people are like, how did you come up with that? That's brilliant, and it's like we're for us it's just another day. It's like because we're like, it's hard, right? So anyway, the star system origins of Rh negative star seeds are often associated with various extraterrestrial or advanced civilizations. Commonly mentioned ones include Sirius, Orion, but mostly Sirius. The Sirius star system is frequently cited as a potential origin for Rhesus negative starseeds. Those connected to Sirius are often seen as wise, intuitive, and spiritually advanced. Lyra. The Lyra star system is thought to be home to many starseeds who embody creativity and individuality. Rhesus negative starseeds from this origin may possess artistic talents and a desire for personal expression. The Pleiades. The Pleiades star cluster is associated with nurturing and compassionate energy. Rhesus negative starseeds from this origin may focus on emotional healing and community support. And Andromeda. The Andromedan star system is often linked to explorers and seekers of knowledge. Rhesus negative starseeds from this origin may feel a strong urge to learn and expand their horizons. Now, I did mention Orion as well, and this is because intuitively, Orion has come to me as a place where they were doing some experimentation that you kind of saw in Atlantis as well. But we are an experiment, okay? And some of these experiments tended to be monstrosities, but they were looking for some of the perfect weapons. They were looking for they were focused on transhumanism, as we would call it today, okay? To add bionics and other technology to organisms and computerize these. I don't really want to get graphic here, but it wasn't pretty and sweet. There were a lot of Frankenstein monstrosities, okay? And this got carried on in Atlantis for quite some time, where there was an area where a lot of these monstrosities were, and they were eventually wiped out. I don't know the full story, but it sounds like they were disintegrated somehow. Or erased from the gene pool entirely. They made them somehow go extinct, or they were eviscerated. I'm hearing eviscerated. Okay. They were placed on this island and eviscerated. Okay. And it was kept secret from other Atlanteans because it's very similar to what's going on underground today. You hear nightmarish stories about government experiments going haywire, and then they just pull the plug on it and they hopefully contain it before it reaches the outside world. But, those are like Island of Dr. Moreau type of stories, okay? H.G. Wells was spot on, okay? And so, it gets you thinking, what about the Rh negatives? Are we experiments? No. We are actually the original prototype of the beings who came here. We are the descended from these, as I said, we are the predecessors of humanity. We existed before, and you can trace this in the blood. And there was something there, okay, before this, okay? And so I feel like we embody unique characteristics for a reason. such as empathy, intuition, and a deep connection to nature and spirituality. Rhesus Negative Starseeds often feel different from others and are driven by a desire for truth, justice, and positive change. Our potential star, our potential star origins include Sirius, Lyra, Pleiades, and Andromeda, suggesting that we carry advanced spiritual insights and healing abilities. So these ideas may or may not be scientifically proved as of now. I don't know who is the forefront investigator of this, 2030 on the clock, but they resonate with those exploring the concept of starseeds and their roles in the universe. And so that is something to think about. That's something for us to really reflect upon. I'm really feeling like in the next decade or so, we're going to find out so much more about our origins, okay, that it's going to expedite a lot of the cures that are out there, okay? Like, I really do see the cures coming. And I'm seeing the cures coming not just from world leaders. I'm seeing a lot of people taking sovereignty back and curing their own people, okay? That is for some nation out there. They're taking the lead scientifically, because you got to remember, in the United States right now, especially in 2025, they're dumbing down everything. They're canceling things. They're canceling budgets. They're canceling, healthcare. They're canceling scientific research. I mean, all this funding is just gone now. So humanity, it's like being retarded in the United States, as opposed to, I keep saying that, and I don't want to keep saying that word, retarded. But that's what comes through when I'm trying to describe what's happening now with the dumbing down of the United States as it undergoes reconstruction under Uranus and Gemini and setting the stage for the next 84 years. The human collective in the United States has to decide if they want to continue to be dumbed down and regress is the better word, or if they want to move forward and be more in alignment with the 21st century and what opportunities are there, what it entails for the new millennium, so that we're not going back toward feudalism and the dark ages. Okay, so with that, 22:33 on the clock. Those are angel numbers for those who don't know. And synchronicities. But yeah, let me know if any of this resonates with you. I hope some of this helped you guys. And definitely check out my website at nikkivasquez.com. You can email me at info@nikkivasquez.com. Let me know, because a lot of times I don't get your comments because YouTube is censoring everything. That's a whole other topic. But yeah, I hope that helps. I love you guys so much. And most of all, happy journeying to you. And so it is.